Hi everyone, my name is James Feeney. Welcome to or back to my channel. I just wanted to come on today and have a little chit chat with you guys, talk about the new year, how things are going, maybe get into a little bit of just the basics of how things are starting out for me. Hopefully you guys can comment and let me know how you guys are doing as well. I tried to film this yesterday outdoors because it's been like strangely warm where I live. And I wanted to like pull or kind of like pull some like Ogham cards for us and make that a thing. And it was so windy, so it was nice and warm, but there was a lot of wind, which I knew one would make it really difficult to hear anything I was saying, and two, it would like these would be blowing around, my hair would be blowing around. It would be very distracting for both of us. So I'm here again today. Not as exciting that I'm indoors, but yeah, it's pretty early in the morning, so excuse the wet hair and all of that, and my voice is like a little froggy for some reason. I don't know what that is about, but these are some really cool Ogham cards. I got them last year. I don't know why I'm feeling compelled for this video, and like I was just thinking about kind of doing a catch up and pulling cards, and this popped into my head. I mean, I'm not super well versed in Oghams, and it's not something that's even on my list, or it's very low on my list to even learn this year, so we'll see. But let's pull some, or let's pull one. Our little post wolf moon eclipse, beginning of January Ogham. And we have Holly, so we have challenge and justice. So that's interesting. I kind of associated the wolf moon with letting go of cycles and starting new, but I don't think that starting anew is something that just happens and it's all sunshine and roses. There's an element of change we have to incite, things that we have to overcome, choices we need to make. So I think that this is outlining that some tough love and our own decisions and actions are going to be what allows us to start these new cycles and to come into something new. It's not just going to drop into our laps. Yeah, that's really interesting, and I love the artwork on these cards. I'll try to remember to link them below if like you're interested in these. I'll show a couple more now that I've just pulled this one, but they're quite beautiful. And I know that the artist has some prints of these on her website, or not website, on Etsy. I got these off of Etsy. And I think that at some point or another they were published through Llewellyn, because they came in a Llewellyn bigger box, but the artist was selling them herself on Etsy, and I don't think I could find them via like Google or other things, so I guess that's where they're available now. But they're so beautiful, just like, yeah, I love these cards. I think I want to, this one looks really interesting. I considered getting the print of like this one, or the willow is like so beautiful as well. If this focuses, hopefully it's focused enough that you get the idea. But yeah, we got Holly, wherever that card ran off to. There's not that many cards here. But we are not very far into January. I'd say we're like 2 weeks in, maybe less at this point. But I did want to, I feel like the beginning is kind of the most, not jarring, but if you're trying to make changes, it's difficult, and there's a lot of initial sort of hiccups that go on. So for me in 2020, as you guys know, I'm doing a depth year, and it's been a lot more challenging than I originally anticipated. This is not me coming on to say I'm like stopping that or anything like that. In fact, no, I just think that it's difficult, and I've run into a bunch of hiccups and kind of gray areas, or things that I would categorize as falling within a gray area where I maybe didn't cheat, or they were just kind of strange things that I like didn't know if that was breaking the depth year or not, and I probably should have not done them to be safe, but that wasn't always the case. And yeah, well, now I have a bigger incentive to kind of keep with the depth year. I actually booked a trip that I was debating for a very long time, not a very long time, but for a while, and now I want to, of course, put any money that I would spend on extraneous things towards that, so that's helpful for me. I guess I'll go into a few of the hiccups that I've had, and maybe you guys going through your depth year can resonate with this. Of course, I want to be completely transparent and honest with any mistakes or things that I do, and hold myself accountable, and make sure that you, as people who I'm like kind of, I guess, broadcasting this to, can hold me accountable and add your 2 cents, because if I did add this, I have this on YouTube, like I am doing this for the purposes of showing you guys. Hopefully you guys can learn something from it, and you guys can interact with me on it. So yeah, let me think. So as far as eating out goes, I haven't eaten or had any drinks like out on my, like, alone, which was my goal. I haven't fully ever broken that yet. I would say one time, there were a couple of times when, well, my sister's still home from school, so we would go for coffees, which is something that we do, and I don't consider that to be breaking the depth year because I'm with someone. It's like an activity done together, so that I think is fine. Although there are times when, say, we'll get the coffee and we'll get it to go and bring it home, and we're both kind of going about doing things at home, although we are still like together in a way. So I guess that I would categorize as a bit of a gray area. I don't think that one is so off the mark, but yeah. So there's that. There was one time when I had like a coffee voucher, and I got it by myself, and I'm sure, yes, I could have waited to go with someone to use my coffee voucher, but I kind of also see having like a gift card or a free something and using it for myself. I'm not spending the money. I'm not really like you know what I mean? But I do think that that kind of was a little bit of a loophole for me, and that the whole purpose was for me to not go out and do that on my own. And I would say that one was more, this category was more out of not wanting to spend the money that I was spending on buying these things just for myself, when there wasn't an experience to be had from having bought the food or drink. So it being a free drink didn't really feel like I was breaking it so much. Although there was a part of me that wanted to, like, I don't know. There was a small inkling of guilt there. You guys let me know what you think about that one. I think it was like, that would be definitely a gray area. I'm trying to think what else. My parents got me a really nice cologne for Christmas. And I'm not a big cologne person. I don't wear it every day, and I have two that I really like. I don't know. I'm not going to make this something where I show things. I didn't even bring them in here, but I thought maybe I should have or would have. But yeah, so I have two colognes that I really like, and I've had them for a long time. I don't go through them very quickly. And this cologne was really nice, and my mom just didn't really know what to get me, so she got me that, but she gave me the receipt. And so I knew I wasn't going to use this cologne, and so I didn't want to bother opening it. So instead I went to the store to exchange it, and I could only get store credit. So I needed to use the money for the cologne in the store. And so here we enter the gray area. I used that store credit to purchase two necklace. Here, I'll show you guys actually, because those are right here. Wait one sec. So, with the money from the cologne, there was a sale on some jewelry. So I purchased two silver necklaces. I got these praying hands, if it focuses. So there's that one. And we also have a larger cross. I know you guys won't be able to see the detail. I'm like noticing it's not focusing that well, but uh, it has Mary, it has Jesus, it has the two on either side. I'm not 100% sure what's going on in those little images or circles. And then in the middle, there's a heart on fire, and it's like glowing. Um, and although I have my struggles with like Catholicism and Christianity, I do like the idea of sort of taking those traditional symbols and wearing them in my own way and kind of interacting with the symbols, the stories, the religion itself in a way that I choose to. Like, there's something in me that almost feels rebellious and like I'm claiming it for my own and that it doesn't belong to anybody and I have the right to see it and use it and interact with it in whatever way I see fit. That's a topic for a whole nother video. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of a gray area. I mean, I did have the store credit. I did need to use it there. So there was that. I'm sure I could have potentially, there aren't many things in that store that are like necessity based, so it wasn't like I could have just gone and bought, I don't know, deodorant or something like super utilitarian. The store wasn't really like that, so I kind of did need to, it was like a department store, I kind of did need to use it on like either clothing or jewelry. And I'm sure I guess I could have in turn used it for a present for somebody else or to buy something for somebody else down the line. But I mean, I was using the credit from a Christmas gift from my parents, and they were going to probably ask me if I returned it what I got for myself. Or so that way they didn't think that the gift just kind of disappeared. So I did feel kind of obligated in some sort of sense to get something for myself in that way. So gray area, but at the same time, like, I did it just after the 1st, and really I could have done it like the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, yeah. And I just didn't. I was lazy and I kind of got caught up in things, so that was something that I should have done probably before the 1st. But I'm still considering it a gray area. I didn't like journal on it or anything like that. I wasn't considering that like a break or in the depth year or something that I needed to include in the process that I set for myself. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else yet that I've done. I feel like I'm in like some confessional booth like when I was a kid, like in a church or like speaking to a priest or something. But I guess this is really good. I'm kind of like airing my sins in a way and holding myself accountable, and this will be good because now I can like have it in video form and be like, no, you don't alter your memory, don't switch up the script on the story. We had that. What else is there? Did I acquire anything else? Oh, a book. I did acquire a book, but this book was a gift, and I still have like things coming in that I got in December, like through the mail. I'm not counting those at all as a gray area. I ordered them before January 1st, and they are coming in now. But I did, like, there is a book that was ordered after the 1st that is coming, but it was ordered by somebody else. And this is a gray area because it's a book that I started reading in the bookstore. I mentioned to the person that I liked it. They know about my depth year. And then they happened to order it. So it's not like I said, oh, maybe you could get this book for me kind of thing, but I did mention it. They are aware of my depth year, and they happened to order it. So that's a gray area, in my opinion. So we have that. And then also my Metaphysician's Day Planner by Benabel Wen, which the PDF came all the way back in November, and I was just really lazy in going about ordering it. And then it started to slip my mind. And then at the very tail end of the year, I was like, oh, I never ordered it, shit. And I don't know what happened, but I ended up ordering it on January 1st. So I paid for already like the actual planner. I really just needed to pay the few dollars through Lulu to get it made and for shipping. And I had a coupon, so actually to have it made was completely free. And I wound up just paying for the shipping, but I did that on January 1st. And again, I wasn't counting that as an expenditure or something within the depth year, just because I already had the files that I had paid for, that arrived all the way back in November, and I just was remiss in having not ordered it sooner. So that's another gray area. So I think that that covers it all. I meant for this to be a little bit more of a catch-up, chit-chat, let's talk about the new year, but instead I wound up just spilling a little bit of word vomit where any of my slip-ups or potential slip-ups with the depth year have been. I haven't had any full-out ones where I've broken the year, and there have been some tough ones, like those courses that are out by Melissa Lucia look amazing, and I was seriously debating starting to go through the process of journaling, and so that I might be able to sign up for one, and then thinking, oh, will they be gone by the time I've waited the 4 weeks? But ultimately, I think I've decided that that's one I'm not going to do, just because they are a little bit pricier. I'm not saying that they're overpriced. I think that they're adequately priced. They are a good price for what they are, but to spend that much money when I'm really trying to save for a trip isn't wise, I think, for me. So we are making smarter decisions. We're trying. There was a few slip-ups in the beginning, which I did expect, but thankfully we haven't had any full-on things that have gone in direct opposition of what I've set for the depth year, just some gray area things. So I guess I should say, maybe I'm not proud of myself, but it's nice that I haven't fully slipped up. And yeah, going forward in 2020, there's a lot of things to look forward to. I think the depth year is going to prove to be a lot more challenging than I thought, in a good way. As far as other things that I need to that I'm thinking about in 2020, a lot of the decks that I wanted to work with, that's still the same. I think I want to do either this month or next month a deck collection where I go through all of them, and maybe that's a potential way for me to look through, to one, share with you guys that for those of you who are interested in watching deck collection videos, which I mean I am sometimes, and it'll be a good way for me to get acquainted with the decks that I have, maybe ones that I'm not using so much and could potentially move on, which is something that I want to do this year, is to move on decks that I'm not working with or don't want. So that will be good for that. And I think I'll probably do it in installments or maybe by categories of certain types of decks. So stay tuned for that. I'm thinking the end of this month, if not the earlier part of February, is when I want to start pumping those out. For those of you who don't know, my website is currently now fully up and functional. You guys can subscribe to the emails there. There are blog posts. There's one out now corresponding to the Turn Your Light On series. We also have, you can book your readings through there, which is the biggest thing. If you're interested in a reading from me, you can book one there. We have more blogs coming out. I'm going to be doing one and probably releasing it today or tomorrow on, well, we'll leave that a surprise. But yeah, definitely check that out for the blog posts. I think that that's going to be something that's really fun for me this year. Focusing on the blog posts, focusing on kind of just really establishing my voice here. Of course, I mean, Instagram is just Instagram. That's always been. What else is there for this year? I really just want to grow myself as a reader, and hopefully grow my practice with clients as a reader. That's something that I really want to establish more in this year. I worked and I kind of got it going a little bit in 2019, but I want this to be the year that we really put in the groundwork and grind away at it and make it something. And I think that I'm finding my voice as a reader and my place and the kind of way that I want to go about it. So that's really exciting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. I think that's about it, yeah. And then as far as the areas of study in the decks, I said I want to keep those the same. Thoth is a big one, in turn, kind of incorporating that astrology and the Kabbalah a lot more. I would like that to become a big part of not just my personal practice as it is becoming, but something that hopefully at some point within the year I can then integrate with clients. That would be fun. So stay tuned for that, I guess, hopefully in the months coming. Other than that, I think we have covered it all. I hope that this was a nice little catch-up chit-chat type of video. Hope you all are doing well. Let me know how the beginning of your 2020 is going. I'm curious. Until next time, guys. Bye.